We have Beth. I hope you're feeling not too bad poorly today, Beth. We have Mary. So we're going to make, well, at least we're going to start making some fairy ears. This is my my base one that my very first one I made so that I could test out how they would work. So works pretty good. So there we go. And then I have some 18 gauge wire, some little fairy pendants that I painted, and some basic pieces that will go under the fairy up into the ear to make our, so it will sit like so in here. So, hey, there's the other Mary. We got two Marys today. Cool. So the first thing we're going to want to do is to make our fairy ear blanks. This is one I keep for my own, so I can remember how to do these. I don't do them very often, only a couple times a year. So I keep this one around so I can remember what exactly I did. Your hubby has you on a spending diet, huh? Or curbing your spending right now? I'm pretty lucky mine doesn't generally try to curb mine. He might give me a look or say, I thought you were going to do it pay it this way, but he usually doesn't stop me from doing it. So I have my Fairy Festival, very first show of the year. I'm going to do this coming weekend. So I like to have at least a few pair of fairy ears when I go. And quite frankly, I don't know how many I have in my box. So we're just going to make a few pair this week so that I've got some made. And so... Oh, thank you. These I made some time back with one of my bargain beadbox kits. It had dragonflies in it. I can't remember what it's called, but hey Tina. But yeah, it was a dragonfly one. Oh, did I miss Georgina coming on? People are saying hi. Oh, I did miss Georgina. Hi, Georgina. So anyway, we're going to turn down. I've got some 18 gauge, I think it's 18 gauge wire, and we're going to cut, let's see, I have a note to myself over here how much wire I need for fairy ears. And it says I need 12.5 inches for the ears. So always good to have that information on hand. So I need at least 12.5. I usually cut about 13. If I go a little bit overboard and I have to cut some off, I'd rather do that than not have quite enough. So we're going to cut a couple of 13-inch pieces of the wire here in a moment. And then we're going to start forming these. Yeah. So you're going to advertise and such. I don't do a whole bunch of advertising. Oh, I did not. I forgot that the TGBE was even going to be on this week. Hi, Anita. How are you feeling? I know you're supposed to have your surgeries this Wednesday, right? Are you a day ahead of us? Or are you still on Monday? I think you're still Monday, just quite a bit later in the day than we are. So anyway, I've got some wire here. Looks like I do have it cut flush here. That's good. And we're going to turn down, we're going to cut the wire, and we're going to start you don't know what the TGBE is? It's put on by Softlex Company mainly, though they have a whole bunch of different presenters, and the TGBE stands for the Great Bead Extravaganza. So so we're going to get down on the mat. We're going to cut a couple pieces of wire here, and let's switch her over. So here's our wire. There's our blank. Here's our pieces we're going to put onto it when we're done getting this together, getting the blanks made. And this is my daughter's bookmark. She's had it for a number of years. She brought it to me the other day and said that Finn got hold of it and broke a bead. Well, this one in the middle was a gray crackle bead. I'm not even sure I have any more of those left so that I can make it exactly the same. So I may have to remake this with a different bead in the middle and then make both sides. But I looked at it and went, how did you get all these little knots in your ribbon? But she's had it for a number of years. She uses it on just about every book she reads. So I got to fix that for her one of these days soon. Anyway, we want 13 inches of wire. And so we're going to two 13-inch pieces of wire to be exact. So we're going to get this sort of straightened so that I can get it measured good. There's 12. And then 13 is about right here. And I thought the other end was even, but I look at it better and notice it is not. So I'm going to cut this first piece, and then we're going to go over to this end. I cut a little extra so I could even this guy out. Then I will need to cut a second one because, hey, fairy ears have two ears. They don't just have one, so we need to make two. So get a second piece out here. Ugh. Well, I sort of understand that, Beth, because Steve messed his back up by going back to work too soon after he had his shoulder surgery, and he had to have a second surgery on it then, and he's still in PT for it. So I can understand the doctors wanting to be super careful with making sure that it's healed enough that it doesn't tear something when you go do PT. We have our two pieces of wire here. And because Steve had to end up having two surgeries on his, the doctors have said he probably will not get full mobility back. I usually make mine 9 inches for everybody. And I'll tell you that sometimes that 9 inches isn't long enough. So when I go to shows, I take extender chain with me. So I always close mine with a lobster claw. So if I do need to use an extender chain, I can put some extender chain on them, because I have had people come in and their ankle is bigger than that 9 inches. So so that's always something to think about. As far as smaller ankles are concerned, if if you make them in a way that you can shorten them, like say for instance the ending is chain, or you use chain to make the parts. The one I made the other day, if you'll recall, had all of the sea glass in it. Now, if I were to need to take some of that apart, I could take some out. Yeah, exactly. Take some pliers and some flush cutters and some chain, so that you can make extender chains if you need to. That's the best thing to ever do. So the first thing we need to do is make this loop right here for our fairy ear. Well, actually, the first thing is to make this little loop down here, so we don't have to worry about it later. So I'm just gonna take and put a loop on one end down here, and I usually will wrap it around just a little bit so it comes to the other side, like so. We'll do the same on the other one while we're at it here. Just went through the other side, I think, that I did that one with. So, oop, don't hit the other wire. There we go. So now we've got our 2 ends right here done. We'll put one of these aside. By the way, folks, I haven't decided how I'm going to do it. We made this hair barrette the other day. I don't know if you guys were all here when we made this one. But I was starting to price it and realized that my gold piece here is off center. See, it's way over here on this one. It should have, and this would have put it right here on this one. So it's off center by like about an 1/8 inch. If I had moved it that way about an 1/8 inch, it would have been perfect. And I was like, I'm not sure what I should do with that, because I don't really like to sell things that to me are a little bit off. And so I said, well, maybe I'll just keep it because it is pretty. I like it. Or maybe I'll try to pry this up. It's easier said than done. When you E6000 something, it sticks really good. So I was thinking, well, maybe I can price it and then discount it and just say on the ticket when I put it out that it's discounted. My husband said, why don't you do it as a drawing, a gift, a free gift? And since it is off-centered a little bit, do it as a drawing gift. So that very well may be what I do. So anyway, it's a very pretty barrette. I really love it, and it's got some of my really big flat back crystals on it. So, and those are expensive, but I'm trying to decide how I want to do it as a giveaway. Do I want to take it to take it to a show and say, if you spend so much money, you get a chance to win it? Or do I want to put it on here and do a drawing of some kind here on the channel? But I haven't decided yet. So Still thinking about that, what we're going to do. Anybody want to give me any suggestions on how I should do that? By all means do so. I put it back in its little baggie for right now. I really like it. I think it is beautiful, but like I say, it is slightly off center. It should be over here about another 1/16 to 1/8 of an inch. Probably close to an 1/8 of an inch. Well, yeah, about that far. So it really turned out pretty. I really, really like it. It's just got a little minor problem. Yeah, I think that might be what I do. Uh-oh, your stimulator stopped working? You're overnighting you a new one. Well, that's good. Now I know Heather has one, but hers was surgically implanted. Is yours one that's exterior, or Lynn, is your back stimulator something it's not implanted? You would wear it, Bethy? Maybe I should send it to you. Um, anyway, what's going on with Beadfest, since I haven't noticed anybody say, is that Beth has been not allowed to go. Her doctor has vetoed that trip. So, vetoed trips mean you can't go. Sort of like my vetoed trip this year when I was supposed to go to Michigan. Doctors' vetoes are very, very, you know, you can't do it. Sorry. So, oh, it's excellent for anyone who has a birthday on 7/29. Well, you know what, Beth? My mom's birthday is 7/28. So, but she had shorter hair, so it wouldn't work for her anyway. And I'm not sure she'd wear it since, like I say, she does have dementia, and she doesn't always feel up to a lot of things that she used to do just automatically. So I want something that, because of the size of this, it is bigger than my wire mandrel. So, oh, the controller that charges your implant is what quit working. Okay. You have to charge the battery. Oh, okay. So I hopefully that isn't too hard to change out then. But see, now this isn't quite as big as I want it to be here, but it's big enough that I can spread it just a little bit as I need it. So we're going to take this and we're going to start at this one end, and we're just going to wrap it all the way around this bottle till it comes back over here. As you see, it automatically bounces up to a degree, and that's about what we want it to be. We may want it a little bit smaller than that. Let's see here. We do want it a little bit smaller. It's a little too rounded for my taste because this is going around your ear. So we'll just straighten that a little bit there. Pull this down a little bit and straighten it as we pull it down. So it's going to sit like so. Nope, we need it up here and a little straighter. So your fingers are your best tool when you're doing wire work. So that's pretty good. Now I need to get it curled over here further though, because it's not curled quite enough on this side. So we're going to just curl it a little bit more. Now it rounded out more than I wanted. See how it did that? So now we're going to pull this down again. And it needs to come over this way just a little bit more. So now this piece is the piece that goes around the back of your ear. So this piece is not going to show because it will be around the back, and that's not quite where I want it at, but it's close. So let me just let it stay there. Like I say, this is the piece that goes around the back of your ear and keeps this from falling off. So it goes down the back, goes behind your ear, then this piece tucks up and goes up, and this is our decorative piece in the front. So since we're got to do two, though, I'm going to do them both at the same time, one right after the other as I work here, so that I can keep them going the same size. So we're just going to, again, we're going to put that on there and just pull this around. And it needs to come quite far. So there we go. Now, as you can see, again, it's way too big. So we're going to just pull it down, pull her around, straighten it just a little bit as it comes down. That's a little crooked right there. So now we'll see how they are compared to each other. Now, see, this one has the point down just a little bit more. So, and now this piece needs to come over here further. Now, see, so now what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take hold of it and roll my finger up and around both of them at the same time so that they sort of conform to each other. So this one is more or less the way I want it. See how it's sitting right in here pretty good? Now, flip you over so we can see you again. Get out of there. So it's coming down and around here and coming down to here. This one is still too rounded. We got to straighten it out some. Come down this way some. And I try to make these at the same time when I make a pair so that as I'm working, they're pretty much staying close to the same size. They won't be perfect because, hey, they're handmade, but they'll be more of a size to each other. Okay, so there we go. We got these pretty well good. Now our next step is to put this bend in. This is where it goes at the very crook of your ear. Oh, that's too bad, Tina. It's that your leg gives out like that. Mine has been known to do so also. That's one of the reasons I had to have my surgery. It doesn't always work when you try to do two at once because one usually tries to slip out of the way. So I tend to do them one right after the other if at all possible. Did Sid show up? Yes, she did. Hi, Sid. The first time my leg gave out on me, we were in Hawaii on our 25th anniversary trip. My husband had taken me to the Big Island, which was a big surprise to me. And all of a sudden, it felt like it wasn't even there. It just disappeared. Oh dear, Anita, that sucks. I'm so sorry to hear that. I would hate that. I'm with you there. I would not like that at all. So now we need to get our flat nose pliers, and we're going to make this weird little curve right here. This curve here is what holds it, how you get it to go from the front. This goes right in the where your earlobe opens up, and it goes right in the front right there, and this goes behind your ear, and then this piece then goes up in front of your ear. So we got to make this little piece next. Looks good, Golden. Hey, Cynthia. So, we want to get this, like, it's going to go sit here, and then as it comes down and around, we want to bend it right here. And I'm going to put a little bend in with my fingernail so I know about where it goes to. And I'll just do the same with using this one, put this beside it, and again, just use my fingernail to put that little bend right there. Oh, come here, you. Got to get it at the right angle. Okay. That about right? Good enough. Okay, it's a little off going that direction, but that's all right. We got it. Now, the thing is, when you do this next section, they've got to go opposite directions because one will be on one ear, one will be on the other ear. So you got to remember that. So I'm going to take my flat nose pliers. I've got this one is a little bigger than my skinny one. I like this one. So we're going to take this guy, and we've got this curve here. We're going to bend it up further. Then we're going to go and put this plier right here at where the bend is. And we're going to bend it this way. Then we're going to come in here, right here, bend back, let go of this ribbon. And now we've got this piece here. Now this is a little wider. I could have made this a little skinnier. And we're going to go and move this direction. So I could have used my other pliers. I mean pliers because they're square nose to do this little piece, and it would have been just a little bit less wide. See, this one is skinnier. So, but this set we're going to do this way. Now this piece right here is sort of a guessing game. And let's get the other one done first. Now this one, we want the wire to go the other opposite direction. So that did a weird wowie there in the middle of it. Interesting. So we've got this. Now we want to come this direction. And we don't want to go this direction. We want to turn it because it has to go to the other side because we're not coming this direction this time. So, am I thinking right? I want it to go the opposite way. Go this direction. Once it's straight, go this direction. Then up in here and back to this direction. Have I got them opposite? Yes, good. Now I've got this weirdly crooked here, so we need to go back in here and fix this. Okay. Now we got our bow in both sides, our place where it goes around our ear in both sides. And now we need to decide how far up, we need to go with our curve here. And this is going to be fully hand done. There's no way you can really figure this out without doing it by hand. Hey, Heather. So now what I want to do is I'm going to take and do a quick figuring from my blank that I made some years back. It goes right here, and I want my ear to form up to about right here. So we're going to take this and we're going to round this up with our fingers. Just take it and just roll it between your fingers with a slight bend. So you just pull it like this. See how it's starting to get a little bit of a roundedness there. I don't want to go overboard because we don't want this to be way out to one side or the other. Now you can see my ear tip is about right here. So I'm just going to take it, and there goes my thumbnail again, and we're going to bring it down. Now if you want it to be more of a straight kind of bend, we can always get our flat nose out and do the like so. Now we got to do the rounded for this side so that it's coming down here. See how that's working? Comes up to here, to the front here. This is a little smaller, it looks like, than my blank, and then it's coming down here. And it's coming down pretty good. And then we're going to curl this last bit in a bit, quite a bit more, so that it comes, get over there, and it will curl up to the front of your ear. And then we're going to take this last little bit and we're doing a roll on it, just like we did the other side. So there is what our blank should look like. See, it's not quite the same as the blank at the bottom, but it's good enough. It will do the trick. If you want this a little more curled, you can always curl it a little bit more, both sides. Now we've got our original first one done right here. So now we're going to take this, and it has to go the opposite direction. So we're going to do the rounding. And we'll take this guy and we're going to put it on here because we want it to be about the same again, because this is a pear. So even though it's not going to be perfect, we want it to be relatively close. So this is not rounded as much quite. So there we go. That's pretty good. And we want our bend right here. Oop. Now that's one reason why I don't do two at once, because see, the pliers, once you grab, they tend to have an opening. See how they have a slight opening there? So when you try to grab things, they'll hold the first piece, but the second piece they let loose of. So hold this right here. That's where you go, right there. Now, how did I do that? One is way bigger than the other, it looks like. Well, maybe not. Maybe it's just the way I have it held. Because this one's way more rounded. Come on, round down here. There we go. That's better. So now we need to round this side so that it curves all the way in. Like so. And we'll do its loop. And then we'll compare them and see if we need to do any adjusting. There we go. Bing. Let's get you in the right spot. Okay. As you can see, one of these is much more rounded than the other one is. So we need to round this second one out quite a bit more. Though frankly, when we start hooking it to our piece here, it will naturally go, because it's going to go to conform to the size of the piece of filigree we're going to put on. There we go. So you need to come in here just a little more, which means you do too. So there's our base ears right there. This one needs to pull apart some. Okay. As you can see, this one's point is a lot better than this one's, and that's because I did this one with my thumb instead of with the plier. There, we just got that a lot more pointed. But like I said, we're going to now hook these guys onto here, like so, and it's going to bring them down around a little more. Now, you can wire wrap them or glue them. I usually just wire wrap them on. And though I might glue our little lady on here, onto here when I put it on. It's going to sit like there. So, because I don't like this little tip up here at the top, we're going to get our got kitty cat hair stuck to my arm. I'm a little sweaty a little bit. Honey, can you turn the fan on? It's getting warm.
The overhead one?
Yeah, it's getting warm.
Yeah.
Now you could put anything you want on these. I could just put jewels on it. I have put dragons on them. I do have some green. I have one green dragon left here, so I've put dragons on things like this. I don't always use this base piece, I frequently use something else. I've got little fairies I've put on here before. See if I can dig one of them up. Well, I thought I had a bigger fairy in here, but I guess I just have a small one. But flowers, anything like that, it becomes pretty popular. Some people who make fairy ears just put some loops between loops of beads between each side. And I have made a set once that were just rimmed with crystals all the way around. Those went pretty fast. So, but and I do like those as well. So. Your hair won't be curly for very long. Mine is going to get more curly as the day goes on, because it's unless I pull it up, which I'm going to do probably, because my neck's getting uncomfortable. It's a little too warm in here for me when it's really hot, and then my hair being long, it just makes me irritated. So I tend to pull it up after a while to get it off my neck. Not sure if this is as thin as I want it to be, but we might use it anyway. So we need some, I like to use 22 or 24 usually, or 26, but I'm not seeing I think this is actually either 22 or 24, but I'm not sure. I usually can tell by feel, but anyway, we're going to cut a hunk of this off. I think it's thin enough, it'll work. And go to this side here. What we're going to do is we're going to start up here at the very top of my ear. And I'm going to go to about the middle of my wire. Actually, let's bend it so I know that I'm at the middle. So we're going to So I've bent it into a little V here. We're going to go up here to the very tippy top of our fairy ear. Get out of the way, little one. And then I'm going to bring it together and go to either side and tighten it up here. And then we'll go through and make a little bit of a wrap here, so it stays right up here at the top. Now we're going to bring one of these pieces in, and as you can see, it's got two holes right up there at the very top. So we're going to take That's the one problem about working with wire when you don't have a lot of room. It wants to go everywhere and grab everything. So we're going to go to this side where it's on that side with this piece, and it's going to come down around here. And then we're going to take this one and we're going to go through the other side, because there's two holes here. Make sure I'm getting this so it's not going to be ugly here. Unfortunately, it's hard to see when it's doing them from two different directions. Come on, go through. And that's why this might be a little bit too thick a wire, but it's gonna... Oh, come on. Why are you being so difficult? There we go. Right there. So then we're going to just use these wires as they go. And to hook this up along the edge, I'm just going to wrap it, come through any of these holes. And we're just going to wrap this onto here so that it stays on our ear. You go over there. Come on, over there. I guess it says no, it's not going over there. Okay, fine, you're not going over there. Now there's no holes along here, so we're going to just bring it all the way down to right here, where this next hole is at. And if you want to, you can always put a little E6000 glue in here to hold it better. You can either come down there or go up there, one or the other. You can't do both. Come on. There we go. Go through here. And down through the next hole. And then, like I say, I think this is probably 22 gauge wire, so it's not wrapping as easily as I want it to, which is unfortunate. Now my question to myself is, do I want to try and make it go to that last one? I don't think so. I think we're good right here. So what we're going to do then is we're going to take this and we're going to do a couple of loops here. Come on, loop. And then I have to decide, do I want to put some crystals down along the bottom here, because I do frequently do that along the wire here. So now that we've got that side done, we're going to go over and do this side. Wire tried to grab the camera. Come on, all the way. Okay. Now you do want to get your wire as flat as possible on the back side, because let's face it, it's going to be resting on somebody's ear. You don't want something that's really pokey sticking out and stuff like that. So I tend to, after I get this all done here, I will take my flat nose pliers, my nylon jaw pliers, and wrap through here, or squish them all down. Come on, you. Really not liking this wire. It's too fat. Okay, so it's going to look like that, though quite frankly, I don't like this wire. It's too thick, and I'd rather see if I could find a thinner wire to use, and probably cut this one loose. But then our fairy will sit right in like this. And I'll put a crystal right here in her. Oh, we had more folks come on. Let's see what we got going on here. Oh my. We're very glad you're still here too, Heather. Hey, Brandy. Yeah, I could. I just usually use, I could use Fireline. Because I do have some, but it's black. But I usually just use wire because it's pretty sturdy, but I'm not liking the way this this wire's holding onto this. It's just not doing a really good job of it, in my opinion. So I'm probably going to take it back off. And I have just glued, you can just glue these on, but It's not something I want to do. But this is how it's going to sit. When it sits properly, I'm not happy with the way it's sitting though. Not that it's not sitting right, it's just the wire is looking nasty and I don't like that at all. So I have to see if I can find my thinner wire. And we're going to cut you loose. Got to make sure I don't cut the wrong wire here as I'm cutting the wires off. Oh, come on, you. Bye, love. Bye, honey. Get out there. See, that even kinked up our wire some right here. Don't like that either. No messing with the fairy ear. In my beginning days, I probably would have let this go, but it's not my beginning days anymore, and I don't like it. And what I don't like, as I frequently say, this is what your flush cutters are for, cutting apart the things you don't like. Speaking of PT, that's where the hubby's going right now. He's got PT for his shoulder on Mondays and Wednesdays, and for his cardiology appointments on Tuesdays and Thursdays. So he has PT every day of every weekday except for Friday of some form or another. Da, da, da. Now just got to get all the extra wires off. Why are you not coming off? Okay. And get all these thrown away before I step on them and have little bits of wire in my foot. Because I'm notorious for running around barefoot. My doctor's always yelling at me about it because I have plantar fasciitis. And he says, you need to wear your Birkenstocks because they'll conform to your foot and then you have a nice stable base instead of going barefoot. And I'm like, yeah, right, whatever. I still want to know how my daughter got all these little knots in her ribbon of her bookmark. But she's had it for years, so I guess I shouldn't say anything. It's one of the first ones I made. So I need to find my thinner wire. I'm fairly positive this is 22, and I need at least 20. I want at least 24. And I could use Fireline. I have some here, but I'm always afraid, well, I have some Wildfire, but I'm always afraid that since it's a string, it will cut it, because these are metal pieces. But this morning when I was messing around, I found all sizes of my silver, but not my gold. And since this is bronze pieces, I wanted to use silver. So, come on. No, those are squares. Square, 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 and square. It's 20. That's 20. That's flat. That doesn't work. Oh, would you let go of that? I've got all kinds of the bigger sizes because I use those for my circlets. Well, I use the smaller sizes for my circlets too, so it's sort of surprising I'm not finding a smaller one here. I should have looked these up over the weekend and made sure I had them all around here, but I didn't think about it until just now, which is sort of not quite the thing. Well, see, here's 24, but I'd even like 26 if I could find it. Yeah, that's wider than I want to. Wonder if I have. Getting a snagger on my finger now. Not fun. Hi, Dorothy. It is. And I'm not too worried about what it is as far as the middle is concerned, because this is going to have our fairy stuck on it, just like so. It's going to get glued down into it, and then a crystal will be glued right up here where the loop is at. But that is the last stage because we don't want to have to mess with it after we have the fairy on because the glue has to dry. Sometimes I wire wrap those pieces in as well, but I try not to with ones that I've painted the edges of, because then you've got something going over the top of your pretty. And so and I don't know what happened to my 24. It's really bugging me because I usually use it for things like this. Oh, look what I just found. It's craft wire instead of German style, but it's 24. It was in my case, and look at that. Isn't that pretty? This is tarnish resistant light brass, 24 gauge. Where's your end? Right there. I just love how they all decide they want to unspool the minute you pull them off of the thing here. Where's the hole at? Right there. No, stop it. Pinhead. It's a lot more than I want. I usually keep my German style on the spools like this in the baggie they come out of so that they can't unspool all over the place, but this one didn't have a baggie. But this is one of those things I got in my mystery box. Was it last year? Might have been. I can't recall. So, still loose, but better than it was. That's a pretty color. This is a pretty color though. Brown, and it's a lot thinner. And I think this might be enough for both of them. So just hope. Sit aside. Let's see if this is going to work better. Or if I'm just bound to be determined to be unhappy with these, which might be the case. Can't be happy with everything you make, right? I've made many things I was unhappy with. And weirdly enough, the things I'm unhappy with that I really don't like, if I leave them, if I don't tear them apart like I did that one original one there, frequently that's the one that sells first. You ever had that happen to you guys? You go and I go, oh, I don't really care for that. And then it turns out that somebody does because it goes away. Okay. See how much easier this 24 is wrapping. This is craft wire rather than German style, so I don't normally use this in here, but it's working better than the other one did. So no, you get over here. You're squishing over there too much. Here we go. And you did not go properly, though. Back out. Come up here. There we go. You find a mistake, huh? Well, you know, that's the way of life. Frequently, you find mistakes. And sometimes those mistakes are what helps you learn, so don't worry about them. And a lot of times, you know, there's an old Indian saying that you need to make a mistake so that people know that's not perfect. And it's sort of true. I know I'm not perfect. I make mistakes. I just made one. You watched me cut this whole thing apart just a minute ago. So we all know that we're all human beings and we all make mistakes. And as Sarah Lovecraft frequently says, you got to give yourself grace. This one is being, there we go. And this is bending weirdly as I work on it. I can feel it doing weird things here, but that's all right. We'll get it back in shape. You right here. Okay. I think we got both sides as close as I'm going to want to get them. Let's see how she's looking in the back side. Not too horrible. Now, this one, I'm trying to decide, do I want to, and I think we'll just do our wraps here. A couple of wraps, and then I'm going to have to decide if I want to put any little crystals down in the last of this piece here, of the ear and the earpieces here. So, and while I decide that, I'll probably just go wire up the other one. And if we decide to put some crystals in here just to give it a little more bling, which we just may do, I can decide that. So here's our first piece all wired in, and I'll take my nylon jaw pliers. Ooh, cup chains falling down, and go along the edge here to make sure these are the wires are pretty flat down so they're not getting in the way of anything. And in case you didn't notice, did you notice how they moved a little bit? See, this one's now out here more. So it did wiggle some. And that's all right. This wire should be out this way more. So anyway, we'll set this one aside, get the wire out, and put the other one up. And if I decide to put some jewels down, I usually use just little bicones. Let's see what I have over here beside me. I think we'll go with the purple if we decide to put these on. Because we could go with the blue, though the blue's not quite the right blue. Neither is the purple quite the right purple, but, well, we can make up our mind as we go along. Bye, Dorothy. Oh, hi, Dawn. Oh, yeah, I can understand that, Lynn. I get a little bit pain too if I sit too long. You wouldn't like to be a piece of wire I didn't like? So we're gonna put this other piece on the other side here. And we've got the other piece of wire already cut. So we're gonna bring it up and do that little fold in it right here so that we can easily go over the top here in the crown of our ear. Ta-da. Wrap it up tighter. Look, you little beast, stay put where I put you. And we'll go around. Got a hair in it. Looks like my hair because it's pretty long. I was thinking maybe I had one of the kitties up on the desk again, but it was my own hair. So now we get this piece and we'll put wire through here and get over here where you belong. And a wire through here. Pull them up. What you do? Go twisting sideways here, guys? Yes. Down you go to your spot. There you are. Now we'll go to that side. Go to this side. You go through. Tighten you up. Go down here. think this is probably almost the end here. Yeah, this one spot right here. Go in here. Ooh. Behave. Now over to this side. Sorry if I went off screen there. I think I did. Didn't mean to. Okay, now we have both of our filigree pieces on. And we're going to have to do a little bit of maneuvering on our pieces here because I noticed that I got some of the wires a little bent, like right here. And we want to make sure they're still sitting pretty good to each other, which they are. They're not bad. Now we're going to take the nylon John, squish this side. Okay, now is the time to decide if we want to put the little jewels on, and if we do, what color we want, the blue ones or the purple ones. So we have little blue ones. They look like this. We have some purple ones. Let's put them beside this one. Or I do even still have some clear ones, I think, here. Yeah, I have a few. Or we could just use some clear. Boats. Brandy says blue. You're sleepy? Well, you know. Oh, I didn't know your AC was broken, Heather. That sucks. Okay, looks like everybody's going for the blue. It's not going to be on the filigree. It's going to go right here on the wire. What little bit of is still showing down here, it will go there for a little bit of emphasis, to just add a little pretty to it. It's not going to go up on the filigree itself. Mm-hmm. Beth, I'd be surprised if you didn't say blue. So what's going to go on with the crystals is I'm going to take, and they're going to go here round, and it's going to, this is the tricky side because we've got this bar here. It's going to sit right here, and it's going to go, we're going to put 3 or 4 here till it comes down to the ears piece here. Go in this side, not that side. Though this one is wanting to not sit quite properly. May have to wiggle it down a little bit. We'll see what happens. So we usually get about 3 or 4 down the side here, depending on how big of a filigree base I've put on. Now the other one's really easy. The other side's really easy to put on because you don't have to go through this earpiece because it's flat right there. So, and you can just wrap around the end piece there. So come here, you guys. You gotta sit. Okay, that's better. Yeah, it's sitting a little better there. Looks like we're gonna get 3, I think, on this side anyway. Go on. They're hard to hold in place because they are right here down in our earpiece. No, gotta go up there. Up there. There you go. And we're not going to try and put another one here. So we're going to wrap this a few times to set it in place. Did you just go over the top of your other wire? You know I don't like it when you do that. So it's going to come down right here. Okay. You need to come down a little bit further, so we're going to do 1 wrap so it brings it down some more. Okay, right there is good. Sometimes I frequently don't use filigree that comes down this low, so I don't have to worry about keeping it away from the beads so much. It wants to be right there, though. Looks like this side's only going to get 2. That's fine. Come on, move up there just a little bit more. There we go. Hi, Dot. Are we whispering? Or was I just whispering to myself? Because I do that frequently. Sorry if I... We generally call Dorothy Inolarity Dorothy and Dorothy Stacker Dot. That sort of keeps them separated. Don't really have a way to separate our Marys, but you know. So we have our crystals on this one now, and we're going to have to cut these wires out, extra wire off, of course. Let's get the crystals on this one, and then we'll put our little ladies in place. We only need 5. Your own. All you guys go back over there. Though frankly, this side may decide it. Well, no, you can't. It'll look too weird. I was going to say this one leg piece looks longer than the other one. Oh, that's right. We needed to bring it down some because of the filigree was hitting. There we go. That's better. Trash man. So loud. Go down there. See, this side seems to be longer than the other one on the other side. I'm going to have to see if I can do a little adjusting here because this one is right to the wire. This one seems to be up higher. Well, that's because of the way I've got it up here. But I don't know if I can get it to wiggle further back up there or not. Oh, a little bit maybe. Okay. Bring you just down some. There we go. And then this one needs to go down and around some. This wire has a little bit of a kink at the end, so it's going to try and fight with stuff here a little bit. Oh, you would decide to be uncooperative on this side, wouldn't you? Last one. Okay, on you go, right there. Right there. Ooh, that's bending. I'm gonna have to do a little work there to get that fixed up better. Okay, in you go. Last wire. Okay. Not supposed to throw it on the floor, Rose. Even if it makes you unhappy. You're not supposed to throw it on the floor. Okie dokie, cut wires, squish them. It's all right. No problem. We have more than one Dorothy. We have more than one Mary. We have more than one Heather. We have lots of different, actually. We have more than one. Well, we have a Cindy and a Cynthia. How much do I sell my anklets for? I do them like I do any other thing, Lynn. I price all my materials out, times it by 2, and then add my time. I do $30 an hour. Or if I don't feel like figuring out how much time, or I didn't pay attention to how much time, I just do 4 times my material cost. So it's all how much I time and effort and all that kind of fun stuff I put into them. So squish you down a little bit. There we go. Now we got to get these wires off. We have a few July birthdays. Beth's is the 29th. My mama's is the 28th. She'll be 96. But I don't usually make things for her anymore because she has dementia and she doesn't wear all her jewelry that much anymore, unfortunately. She's got a lot. I've made quite a bit for her over the years. But as I say, she has dementia. She's in a memory facility nowadays, and she doesn't have very much of her jewelry with her. Though she does have one of my bracelets now because she took it from me when I was down there, which I thought was sort of cute. It was way too big for her. I had to slim it down, but I just took my supplies the next time I went over to see her while we were down there and restrung it for. It's a stretch bracelet, so it's fine it doesn't give her any problems to put it on and off. And she is wearing it because she was wearing it when I got there. So that's why you use Cynthia instead of Cindy here. I think when I redo my daughter's bookmark here, I'll put it on a new ribbon too. It's sort of messy here. So now what we're going to do is we're going to put our fairies on here. They're facing the same direction, unfortunately, so I can't change those guys up. So we're just going to E6000 them onto our filigree here. And then I'm going to put a crystal right here in the middle of the big loop. So I painted these yesterday. I was having fun painting stuff yesterday. In fact, I'll show you something I made yesterday if I can get it out easily. Should be able to. Where are you at? Oh, must be in the other box. It's not in this one. I have 2 boxes I use for drying stuff. You'll recall we made all these goodies the other day. And this one is my other box for drying stuff. Which these fairies will go up into one of these boxes after they're finished, since they are going to have the fairies glued onto them. Got all kinds of little owls in here. I'm going to make my sister-in-law a necklace. She loves owls. So I put some little crystals on these little owls. I'm going to make a necklace for her out of those. But anyway, here's what I painted and made yesterday when I was amusing myself. Hey, Miranda. So this is my hair barrette I made yesterday when I was just painting things and messing around. So I thought this looks almost like a big shell back here. It's actually supposed to be like a morning glory flower, but it looks like a big shell. So I figured that mermaid on it would look really cute. So we'll put these fairy ears up in this box as soon as we get them finished, so they can finish drying. And so we're going to get our silicone mat out and our E6000. I don't think I want those are too big. I've got a variety of colors of, I should put my silicone mat out, but since I don't have it out, we're just not going to play with it right now. Just put this all around this big bar, because as you can see, she's sunk, so I'm not going to worry about there. We're just going to E6000 around this rim here. Need some more down here. I was trying to avoid my finger and didn't get any on it all. So you go back on for a minute We're going to flip her over, and she's going to sit right here in the middle of our filigree piece. Do the same with the other one, and then I'm going to get some clothespins to hold her in place so she doesn't flop around too much. But we'll get this one glued first. What did I miss? Something came up. You found your picture Jasper box? Hey, Miranda. Oh, thank you, Mary. Glad you think so. Oh, Heather thinks so too. So, gotta get this one glued on. Then we're gonna, like I said, we'll get some of the pins out, my little clothespins that I use to hold the pieces in place while they dry a little bit. And then we're going to get my crystal boxes out, and we're going to decide what color of crystal we want in her top up there. Maybe just yellow or clear, like the sun or something like that. Okay, flip you around, and it's right here to that spot there. And yeah, there we go. Now, these pieces make this about as heavy as I will make fairy ears, because they are a teeny bit heavy, and we don't want them to be too heavy since they're sitting on somebody's ears. Right there. I don't think it's going to reach up to her from this direction. Close, maybe enough to hold it. That'll hold her while the glue sets up some. Now, I got all kinds of crystals. So got some yellows, which we could put up there. And here's the clears with some AB on them. We got some browns and gray. Well, when it comes right down to it, I have all colors. We have some blues and teals, and brighter blue. And of course, we got reds and greens and pinks and other purples. I'm trying to decide what color, though, we want to put up here. Do we want it to be like a clear, a yellow, could be a teal or purple. I do have purples. Let's see, did I bring my purples out? I don't. All kinds of purples. Maybe we do want purple since the band is purple. Or we could go with one of the like teal blues to match her skirt some. I don't think we want red or pink. Not even sure I want clear or purple. Tina says purple. Well, surprise, surprise, Tina, that you say purple. I think this purple. No, this one. I was debating this one or this one. They're slight variations, but I think we're going to probably go with this one. Being turned so I can get hold of you better. So go right there. Oops, stop floating out of there. That one will work. This one is has a little bit more, this is more of a bright purple. This one has more of like gray tones in it. Oh. So I think I like that one better, even though this is more of my preferred purple. I think I like that one better with this. Golden color. You think it's too dark? Has to be purple for sure, according to Lynn. Have I thought about a small pearl? No. I don't know if I have a pearl that would work really well. So we're saying that the purple is too well hidden. It matches up with the other purple too well. So you think no to the purple. Okay, let's try something different. We'll put these on hold just in case we decide to go back to the purple. Though, you know, I do have these are a really, really pale purple. More of a purple vitriol. What do you think about those? Get my hand out of the way so they'll show up better. Yes, they are. One size fits all. Yes. So this is a really pale purple. It's actually clear with sort of a purple vitriol in it. Or I also have, though I only have a smaller size of these, but so it would take up less space on our ring, but this is a little like pale lavender color. I don't think so. Not with this one anyway. About the yellow. Oh, is it really that late? It certainly is. So we have the yellow one here. We have I'm not liking the yellow. I don't think I like the yellow. So Heather's on. So I'm gonna use these light purple ones here, and so that's what we're gonna have. And everybody go see Heather. And I will be over there as soon as I glue these down and put them away. Because we're gonna go with this guy. Come here, you. Come out of there. Well, this crystal is sort of with numerous colors because you can see it changes colors as it moves. It is a really pale purple, but it does change colors as it moves around. So we're going to use it. I do have some others that are purpley that change colors as well, but like these guys here in the, oh, I wonder if those would work. Let's check that out. Come here, you. I just need one of you. Ooh, no. Come here. Flip over. Oh, that's cool looking. It might work perfect. I like that. I think I'm going to go with those. Got to put the other guys back in their home, but we'll see you guys later. For those of you who have already are going over to Heather's right this minute, I'm changing this interesting purpley color that changes to purples to greens to all kinds of things, and I think it's going to work really nicely. So that's what we're going to go with. And then these babies are done. Took longer than I expected. I don't know why it took longer than I expected, because when it comes right down to brass tacks, I usually do these in 2 parts so that, uh-oh, did I put the wrong one away? Yes. Come out of there. This one goes in there. Okay, they are done. I just have to pull the pins, see if they need any cleanup, and put them up to dry. So let's see how we're doing here. Looks like we got a little runners here and here. Oh, come here, you. Get our little crystal where I want it for sure. This one's entirely finished. And our fairy ears are finished. So anyway, I'm going to head over to Heather's now that I have finished my fairy ears, and we'll see you all later. Hope you enjoyed making these with me, if you're still here with me. Looks like most folks have left, and that's good. So anyway, everybody go see Heather, TT Trinkets and Treasures. I'll be over there in just a minute, but there are is our first set of fairy ears for this week. I don't know if I'm going to make any more or not. I'm not sure how many I have left. So anyway, we're going to put these in the drying rack. And we'll be going for the day. Hope everybody has a lovely weekend or a lovely evening. And I'll see you all tomorrow. Bye-bye, everybody.